Hey there, it's Chips, and I'm here have for you a Dark Magician deck profile. Uh, this is a pure slash stun build. This is what people mainly play, and I'll just go ahead and get right into it. And of course, you're on 3 Dark Magicians. I run different artworks. I recommend running 3 of the same artworks for an actual duel, for like a tournament, but I use this for casual play most of the time, so I like to play all 3 arts. I played 2 of Magician of Dark Illusion. Some people run 1. I run 2 just because it's a target for my Lure of Darkness, and it's a level 7. I can get off of navigation. And I run a decent amount of traps in here. Plus, this is a very side deck heavy strategy, so you keep going back with your side deck depending on your duels and matchups. So this becomes more viable with more traps in the side deck. Run 3 Apprentice. I don't think I have to really justify 3, but it searches out Dark Magician. It's a must-of. You must run 3. Rod, same case. You must run 3. He searches all your spell and traps in the deck. Searches out Circle. Do all your plays from there. And I run 1 Mana Dragon. Now this is just spicy tech. I have this in there just to protect the back row. This is a very spell and trap heavy deck. And it's also, I run Super Poly. So you can use this as a fusion material for Super Poly as well. Okay. Just go into spells and traps now. Or spells, I should say. Run 3 circles. You must run 3. Searches. Well, it kind of searches. It's a pod duality, but better. Also, you banish when you when you summon Dark Magician, you get a banish off. So yeah, you should definitely run 3. 1 Inheritance, just as a 4th rod of the deck, and it's not good to see it in your opening hand, but it's good like mid to late game to search out any of those cards you need. Illusion Magic, searches out your Dark Magicians. So if you don't have any, you need to summon them off as fast as you can. 3 Allures for draw power. Some people run Pod Duality. I don't think you should because this deck needs a special summon. It definitely, because it conflicts with Apprentice Illusion's effect, so I definitely pick Allure over that. And tell you what though, Pot of Desires is a like you can run it. I wouldn't say go against it, but I think for my deck specifically, I run too many 1-ofs for it to be viable. And that new card, what was it called? Pot of Indulgence. Yeah, you can run it. We don't need the extra deck, really. A good Dark Magician player doesn't need the extra deck to win. But I like the idea of, Super Poly. I think that's kind of neat. So I keep it there. Yeah, I just think Allure is the best option. I run 2 Sacred Village of the Spellcasters just to lock down my opponent from spell cards. A lot of people run that in the deck, right? A lot of matches you go up against run spell cards, like Sky Strikers being number 1. Just win the game with that. What else? Yeah, just lock some spells. It doesn't have a good Altergeist matchup, but that's why I have the side deck for that. But locking down your opponent's spell cards, that's really neat. It's got a drawback though. If you don't control a spellcaster, you can't activate spells yourself. But if you play it smart enough, and if you get lucky, you can gain a whole lot from that. Run 1 Eye of Timaeus. Did have it too, but I side decked the other one. So just 1 Timaeus to get in their Dragon Knight. Because if you summon him out, you just won the game. It's kind of its own win condition. But can't search it because Konami's stupid. So it's just 1 of, because you don't want to draw on too many of them, then it's a brick. So you just draw the 1 for when you hopefully draw into it. And Super Poly. Because once again, you can do summon the Dragon Knight or something like that. Summon Link 4. But they can make a Boral Sword, Borload, Super Poly it. They can't do nothing about it. And just good against just Dragon decks. But that isn't always happening. And not going against the opponent with Dragons, just side deck it for something. Or keep it in there for the side deck stuff, because you'll see about that later. 1 Dark Magic attack, it's searchable, and it just blows up back row. That sounds pretty nifty in this format. 1 Monster Born and 1 Dark Magic Veil. Just as recovery plays, you need to get that extra monster to make a link, or just need to banish something with Circle. And 2 Call Bys, just to protect you from hand traps. Now, I would debate running this up to 3. You probably could. You could switch out like a Magician of Dark Illusion for it. Maybe even that Mono Dragon if you like. That's not very useful. To run 3, I just only run 2. I think 2 is a very solid option, but 3 is definitely more consistent getting that. I just don't want to see it too often, because then you break. That is for the spells. I'll go to the traps. Cards. Okay, run 3 souls. You want to run 3, just get that mid to late game. It's just really strong as long as your opponent can't blow it up. But hopefully, that's what Mono Dragon's there for, to protect it, and the Secret Village to stop Twin Twisters or anything like that. And for monster effects, we have Skill Drain, which I'll show off later. So hopefully they can't blow this up and just wreck you, but if you send out Dragonite, it'll protect it as well. So, you gotta be, kind of intelligent to play this card. Not too much, but hopefully if you know your opponent's strategy, you know if it's a good idea to activate Soul or not. Run 3 Navigation. Summons out 2 Spellcasters. It's a really good card. It's must have at 3. And its great effect is pretty decent. If you control a Dark Magician to get a spell or trap, other than that, it's why. It's navigation. I just shouldn't have to explain this to y'all. If y'all do, then okay. Read the card. Summon limit. I run 3. I did have this at 2 for a good while, but I decided to run it at 3 just so I can draw it more consistently. Now this could potentially lead to a break if your opponent doesn't summon very much, or it's a mirror match. But as far as this game's concerned, this stops Salamangrates. This stops. This doesn't really stop Sky Strikers, but it does hurt them. It means they can't make more than 1 Link monster, which I'm all about that. They only get 1. And what else is this stop? Oh yeah, Thunder Dragons. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people hate that deck for sure. I'm a fan of it myself, and I know that definitely hits the deck real hard. So, it's a floodgate. We all have heard about that YCS. That's why we're all playing it now. And a Skill Drain. Just negate stuff. We run vanilla monsters. We run big beat sticks. So, it's usually not too bad of a card. But only use this card if you control Dark Magician. Because if you just activate this, if you have nothing... Because if you get... Don't use this as, like, your scared card. Because if you have no monsters on field, or if you only have like an Apprentice or a Rod, you just activate that because your opponent just activate because your opponent's monster is really scary. If you activate this, you don't draw on the Dark Magician, you won't win the game then. Because you need to get Dark Magician on the field before you activate this to become a viable card. So definitely don't activate this as when you're scared. Save it, wait for the right time. And run 1 Metaverse to search out the Secret Village. And that's another thing. You could probably put Secret Village down to 1 and just play it 1 Metaverse, 1 Secret Village to boost up any kind of card amount in here if you wanted to. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck now, I run 1 Dark Paladin. Honestly, you don't make this too much. It just negates a spell card. And it gains a lot of attack for dragons. So if you go into dragon match, this could be really... Make a big beat stick if you're into that kind of thing. And it negates the spell card by discarding. That's pretty alright. Well, I'm seeing this in the future, staying in here. It's barely hanging in there. It's honestly better stuff out there I could possibly put in there. Amulet Dragon. Super Poly Target. Banish. It's better late game. Like, it's pretty decent late game, I should say. Banish a bunch of spell cards. If you're going to get Sky Strikers, that sounds pretty nifty. Just banish all the graveyards. They don't get none of their good effects anymore. And he has a big beat stick and summons Dark Magician if he dies. So, pretty nifty. He's alright. And run 2 Dragonites, which is kind of the win condition. Not really, but if you get this out, you won the game, pretty much. Will you access your fusions often? No. You don't. You may see this card 1 out of every 3 duels. So once a match, you'll see that card come out because you don't use extra deck too heavy, but you're on 2 Dragonites because it's a good card. There's no reason not to, really. 2 Illusions. With Tomahawk being banned, rank 7s kind of hurt a bit, but we're on this now. Well, we've been running it. These 2 summon up Dark Magician from deck or hand. It banishes when Dark Magician attacks. Sounds pretty good to me. Ebon High Magician. It lets you activate spell traps during your opponent's turn. You only won 1. This is good for certain matchups, but you don't see this in play at all. And honestly, you don't make rank 7s too often. You just make a link so you can get stuff from the graveyard for setup for the next turn. But it's there in case you, for some reason, need a reason to play that. I run 2 Red Eyes Flare Metals. Now, I would really only want 1, because the second one would be that Diablos guy. I forget his full name, but it's a permanent prize card. And since I don't have $1,000 or so to blow on a Diablos, I'm just running this as just for replacement. And yeah, that's pretty much the reason why. You won't make both of these. In fact, if you find another card for the extra deck, put that in there for the second one, because you don't need to. 1 or none. I run 1 for, like, if my opponent has like a few hundred life points left. Make that and they don't get to play. 1 Big Eye. Steal something. Your opponent may have a boss monster that you could target. See if you can do that in this game. Yeah, you could Big Eye Roll Sword. If they have a Boral Sword, you probably already lost the game. But hey, if you survive with a few hundred, Big Eye it, then you can win the game. Yeah, it's just for that. Y'all know what Big Eye is. It's been around for a good while. Naruto, rank 6 play. I actually run 4 level 6 because of this guy, so you can get him out more often. Just negate spell traps per turn. It's alright. One of you which has this link to. You actually make this more often than anything. Because like you have an Apprentice and a Rod on field, you just use those 2 for a link 2, so you get Rod in graveyard for his grave effect to add him back to your hand next turn. 1 Decode Talkers and link 3, or Decode and Summon Sorceress as the link 3s. Summon Sorceress to help advance your plays, make a link 4, possibly. Well, not this one I'm about to show off, but helps you advance your plays for sure. Summons out Dark Magician so you get your circle to banish. And Decode, just like, if Summon Sorceress isn't looking very viable at all, you have more Dark Magicians in the deck or something like that. Or if this gets hit in the ban list, make a new profile at that point. But it's another link 3. It's decent. Something targets you can negate. Gets bigger. It's alright. This is more synergy because it's a dark and it's spellcaster. But, you know, Decode's there too. And Borload. You don't make this too often. In fact, if you can make this card, you probably already won the game. But in case you need it, there it is. It's Borload. It's like 4. Y'all know what this card is. Hopefully you know what that card is. It's take your crap away. It's like Big Eye, but better. Can be targeted. It's nice to have that board presence. Yeah, it's Borload. You run it in a lot of decks that can make link 4s. That's it for the extra deck. Now for the side deck. This is where it's a little interesting. I run 2 Layer of Darknesses. I usually swap this out with Secret Village for the field spell. And, well, for those who don't know what this card is, it makes every monster on the field a dark, including your opponent's field. And you can, once per turn, use one of those cards as a tribute for an effect. And it generates a token for enemy monsters attributed that turn and whatnot. We'll get into why this is played, because I run a bunch of cards like that. In the side deck, 1 Veil, in case you need more recovery power. You could take that out, honestly, for something else. I don't know what you want to take out for it, though. Run both right and left hands. One negates the first spell, one negates the first trap. This is pretty, even though it only negates 1 card, It negates the first card, though, so your opponent has to think about what they have to want to waste. Because it's not like they could, like... Well, no. Yeah. So I throw that in there against a certain matchup, like Sky Striker throwing a... Which one negates what now? Yeah. Throw this against Altergeist and this against Sky Strikers. And pretty nifty. And mirror matches as well. It would actually be more helpful than Secret Village. One to Myas, because in case you want to draw into it more often, if you're feeling like you need that card as soon as possible, then I guess throw it in there. Honestly, these two cards can be taken out for anything. I just have them there to fill up, because I don't have hand traps. There, I said it. I'm just going to move these two out of the way, and just because I'm going to get into Layer of Darkness kind of stuff now. I run one Starving Venom in the side deck, because it turns my opponents to dark monsters, so I use Super Poly to absorb their field to make this card. So Super Poly usually stays in the main deck. Waking the Dragon is just, if you're playing against, if you're going around 2 or 3, your opponent knows you're running Dark Magicians. Hopefully they know. If they're smart. I don't know who would let them in the building if they couldn't tell by then. But they try to target your back row, of course, so use that as mind games to hopefully have them hit this card to summon out your Dragon Knight just for the back row protection. Just show it off there, put it to the side. We're on 2 Grinning Graves. This is a little iffy. Maybe think about narrowing it down to 1 actually, because a lot of decks in this game like the graveyard setup, so this actually helps them. But for certain decks, this would actually be more hurtful than helpful. So you just have those there for those. Probably put that down to 1, in all honesty. And we're on 3 Eradicators. Because the stop Sky Strikers and Altergeist. That'd be the main reason for these cards. Stop your opponent from using spell traps for 3 turns. Sounds pretty nice to me. Use my opponent's Field of Tribute because of Layer. Make these cards a lot more viable. That's kind of it for the Layer engine. It's these cards here. Yeah, a little nifty. Next we have Dark Renewal, Tribute, whatever. Summon out Dark Magician. Yay. They'll make a play. This will always stay in the side deck, by the way, just to let y'all know. And 1 Gozen match to stop Altergeist, because as a Dark Magician player and a Cyber Dragon player, I have a duty to hate Altergeist with the greatest of passion. But there's other decks in the game besides Altergeist. This doesn't hurt too many decks, it just hurts Altergeist. I like that. I like creating Altergeist. I hate Altergeist, even though it might actually be the future of Dark Magicians to mix with the two together. But I was just salty with the Altergeist, so I just run 1 Gozen match. As far as the rest of the side deck's concerned, because this is the last card, putting some Rivals in there would do some good. Be good against what would be a good deck? That's a good question. Maybe. I don't know. This is why we play Gozen over anything right now in this format, because this stops more decks than Rivalry does. Oh yeah, this stops Thunder Dragons as well, because they have Light and Dark. Well, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you enjoyed. Not to mention the Overlord playmat. Throw that in there. Yeah, that's the Dark Magician deck profile. If you enjoyed it, please give a like. If you want to see more content, subscribe. If you want to see this deck in action, there will probably be a live duel after this upload of it dueling Blue Eyes, which isn't really the greatest of decks, but, you know, see the good old Dark Magician versus Blue Eyes matchup at it again. And subscribe to see that, or more content like this. I'm usually pretty good at these outros. Yeah, comment if you have any questions, too. Do that. I'm just going to end the video now.